This is the article that IGN did the first reveal. Spidey is joined by three of his most iconic villains in this initial card reveal. So, blah, 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 blah. Today, we've got a first look at 6 new cards from Magic's upcoming Spider-Man set, as well as the products and packaging that will accompany it. You can pre-order the cards at Amazon. Of course you can. Click through the image gallery below to see the Spider-Man cards from its Commander-focused scene box, booster packs, welcome decks, and more, and read on to hear about the set from Wizards of the Coast. So let's have a look at the cards. That's the packaging, scene cards, play boosters, art cards, and the display easel. Cool. So yeah. So here's the first card they revealed. It is Sensational Spider-Man. He's 1 mana, white, blue. He's a legendary creature, spider, human, hero. So he's Spider Tribal. Whenever Sensational Spider-Man attacks, tap target creature defending player controls and put a stun counter on it. Then you may remove up to 3 stun counters from among all permanents. Draw cards equal to the number of stun counters removed this way. So basically, he webs them up, and then you can remove the webbing and draw cards. And yeah, so he's white, blue focused. I was talking with my youngest about this earlier today, and I said, I feel like it's a missed opportunity to not have made him red-blue. I understand why they did white-blue, but his signature color scheme is red-blue. So, it would have been great to have seen a red-blue Spider-Man card. But anyway. Cool art as well. Dan Dos Santos, the artist. Looks really, really cool. Venom, Deadly Devourer is the next card. He's 2 mana, black-green. He's a legendary creature. He is a symbiote villain. Vigilance and Menace. Vigilance means he doesn't tap when attacking, and Menace means he can't be blocked by less than 2 opponent cards. And for 3 mana, exile target creature from a graveyard, so yours or your opponent's. When you do, put X +1/+1 counters on target symbiote, where X is the exile card's toughness. That is potentially... could make for a very large Venom. Yes. And again, awesome card art. Really like it. And then we get Doc Ock, Evil Inventor. He's 5 mana, blue-black. Legendary creature, human scientist villain. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target non-creature artifact you control becomes an 8/8 robot villain artifact creature in addition to its other types. So, yeah. He basically turns an artifact you control into a 8/8 robot villain. And yes, he's 8/8, so he's a big boy. Grasping Tentacles. 1 mana, blue-black. It's a sorcery. Target opponent mills 8 cards. This is Dr. Octopus. 8 arms, 8 cards. You may put an artifact card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. And as we just saw, Doc Ock turns artifacts into robot villains. So that's really cool. So yeah, so that's very cool, like very thematic. I do like that. And then we get Green Goblin Nemesis. 2 mana, black-red. And again, was talking with my youngest and mentioned the fact that the Green Goblin really should be green. He could have been green-red. I know why they made him red, because goblins are traditionally red. Alright, so Green Goblin's a legendary creature. He's a goblin human villain. He has flying, of course. And whenever you discard a non-land card, put a +1/+1 counter on target goblin you control. So he's Goblin Tribal, 100%. Whenever you discard a land card, create a tapped treasure token. So, very, very cool. And accompanying the goblin his signature pumpkin bombs. And this is 1 mana red. It's an artifact. Tap, discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards, then put a fuse counter on this artifact. It deals damage equal to the number of fuse counters on it to target opponent. They gain control of this artifact. Interesting. So this gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and it keeps swapping between you and your opponent. That's actually really cool. And then here we've got all 6 cards and the one image they form. It looks great. Absolutely love it. Don Dos Santos did a really good job with this. Really, really good job with this. Yeah, they look amazing. And then, yeah, we get the back of the box. Yeah, 6 traditional foil scene cards. So that's the special limited box they're doing. This is the booster packs that they're doing. And then it shows that. And then we get Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider. She's in the set as well, and she gets her own themed box. And then we get Welcome decks. We get Spidey 2099, so he's going to be a card as well. Another cool looking Venom, Ghost Spider, and we get Miles as well. Miles Morales, Spider-Man. And then we get pre-release box. And then interesting bundle. The bundle contains 9 magic boosters, 30 basic lands, 1 alternate promo art card, 2 reference cards, a spin down die, and a card storage box. I'd be tempted to buy one of these physical boxes myself, to be honest. All right. Arriving September 26th. Marvel's Spider-Man will be the second fully draftable standard legal set in Magic Universe's Beyond line of products after Final Fantasy, and the third overall after 2023's modern legal Lord of the Rings set. So it's going to be standard legal. That's sick. It won't have any pre-constructed commander decks like you might expect, but the cards in the scene box shown above won't be standard legal and are instead designed with commander in mind. So there's the scene box. So those 6 cards that formed a scene, they're not standard legal. They're commander deck cards. So it's interesting that the scene cards aren't going to be standard legal. So that means we're going to get, instead of like Sensational Spider-Man like this one was, there's going to be a different Spider-Man card and a different Venom and stuff like that for in the set that will be standard legal. And then, yeah, while A Secret Lair with Wolverine, Captain America, and more was the first step Magic took into the Marvel Universe last year, Spider-Man will also be the first full set inspired by the comics so far. Wizards of the Coast executive producer Max McCall says that's because they just wouldn't have had room for all of the characters and moments they wanted to include from Spider-Man if they'd made a smaller product instead. Spider-Man needs a full set to do justice to the character and incorporate the many villains he's come across over the years, McCall explains. Picking characters from the Spider-Man canon as part of a wider set would leave far too many characters on the cutting room floor. We could probably have found room for Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales in a non-Spider-Man specific set, but there wouldn't have been room for Aunt May. So that tells me there's an Aunt May card. That's going to be awesome. McCall says that designing for a Universe Beyond set flips the world building on its head in that a typical Magic set needs its cards to lay the groundwork of its location and setting, while also being fun to play with in order to get players on board. Whereas most people already have some familiarity with a character like Spider-Man. When we make a card that speaks to our When we make a card that speaks to great power bearing great responsibility, there's room to add mechanical complexity because folks understand the story the card is telling. We don't have to make universes beyond cards that are simple. We just have to pick moments that are recognizable and they'll be easy for fans to understand. That's a good point. As for how exactly they translate those moments in the world around them into a Magic set, head designer Mark Rosewater tells me Magic's color pie is robust enough that we have the ability to show heroism and villainy in all 5 colors. As an example, Rosewater says Spider-Man would be white, blue, and green, Although the specific version in the scene box above is only the first two, white and blue. I still think he needs to be red and blue because that's his Spider-Man's colors. Spider-Man feeling obligated to use his power to help people is core to him being part of the white color pie. Spider-Man is also the product of science, being bitten by a radioactive spider. This and Peter's aptitude for science and invention, like his web slingers, is very blue. Finally, Spider-Man's powers are based on an animal, and the comics have shown that there's a certain destiny to his connection to both spiders and the Spider-Man universe, which is all core green. So yeah, so it makes perfect sense. I just wish they would have just gone, you know what? Spider-Man's recognizable red and blue suit. We'll make him red and blue. I do hope there's at least one Spider-Man card in the set that's a red-blue Spider-Man. In addition to the scene box, the set will have the usual play boosters, collector boosters, bundles, and pre-release packs, all of which can also be seen in the gallery above for more details. And while there won't be any pre-constructed commander decks, this will mark the return of welcome decks. Those are themed introductory decks typically given out by game stores for free so that new players can have a low-pressure way to learn the game. In addition to this year's Final Fantasy set, Wizards also recently announced a set themed around Avatar: The Last Airbender. There will also be 2 more in-universe sets before that in Tarkir, Dragonstorm, and the space-themed Edge of Eternities. The full interview down here. I think they covered most of the salient points above. I don't think we need, I don't think there's anything else. We'll just have a quick skim through. Yep, the color pie. Yeah, specifics matter. They said, I imagine Spider Typal Commander decks are about to get some unexpected new toys across this set. Do you take any special considerations into account when a common magic creature type holds a very different meaning in the context of a Universes Beyond setting? Specifics matter a lot with issues like this. Often we're playing in the same trope space as our Universes Beyond partners. Things like assassins are rarely an issue. Spider-Man will of course contain many spiders, but a lot of the deck building hooks for those characters will key more into the hero creature type. So yeah, I like that. Spider-Man features characters and stories from across its history. We're not limiting ourselves to any one run or series. That's good to know. The Marvel expansions, there we go, confirmed. The Marvel expansions, so we're getting multiple Marvel expansions. Hell yes. The Marvel expansions are based on the comics, but we're always aware of the movie's impact, so we find overlap when we can. Luckily, the vast majority of the movie material was based on the comics. Yeah. That's talking about the scene box. Yeah, he's talking about what other characters. Doc Ock, Venom, and Green Goblin are, of course, way up there when you're making a list of iconic Spider-Man villains. But the nature of those characters makes it easier to draw a scene where they all get equal visual weight. Green Goblin on his glider doesn't get in the way of Doc Ock's tentacles, and Venom can be lurking anywhere for a chance to strike. They all have their own space in the scene to shine. Yeah, talking about the scene cards. The goal is exciting, appealing cards, preferably light enough on text that the art can really shine throughout the scene. Not having mechanical constraints makes this much easier. They don't have to pay off the rest of the set's themes or mechanics, and that gives them room to be made charming and delightful of their own accord. Okay. All right, that's cool. So, September 26. Mark that date on your calendars. I know I will. Now, they did not mention anything about Arena, which is the online version of Magic. But, that said, the Lord of the Rings set, as I mentioned before, the Lord of the Rings set, the Universes Beyond Lord of the Rings set, is available in Arena. Yeah, as I showed before. Yeah. This is a Universes Beyond set, physical set, and it came to Arena. Now, they did say that there is also a Final Fantasy set this year, Universes Beyond, as well as the Marvel Spider-Man set. Now, I don't recall them saying anything about Final Fantasy coming to Arena, but if it does, then that means that's 2 full Universes Beyond sets that have made it to Arena, which bears well for Spider-Man coming to Arena as well.